It was quite clear that a lot of lives had been lost on the ground, let alone in the air.
Though the exact number isn't yet known, dozens are dead. The eyes of the world soon focus on the Netherlands' worst ever aviation disaster.
The spectacular nature of this accident was such that, all the cameras were quickly there.
The Dutch government assigns Pim von Santen to the crash investigation.
How soon can I get my team in here? Thank you.
He's well aware that his entire nation will soon be demanding answers.
There was a lot of pressure, both from the public, from the press, to come up with some findings as quickly as possible.
Von Santen faces a frustrating delay. He's not allowed to examine the debris until rescuers complete their search for victims in the demolished building.
We're just waiting. They're clearing out the bodies.
We were basically walking around and getting as close as possible without disturbing the rescue people.
For now, vital evidence remains out of reach.
Go ahead, please.
With the crash site off limits, von Santen turns to recordings made by Schiphol Air Traffic Control on the night of the accident.
LL 1862, Mayday, Mayday. We have an emergency. LL 1862, do you wish to return to Schiphol?
It's not as detailed as the cockpit recording, but does capture the conversations between controllers and the El Al crew.
60.
You hear those people speak,
West runway 27 for landing.
and that makes it very, for me at least, made it very emotional. You hear people speaking, but you also know that they are dead.
We have a controlling problem.
The recording reveals just how quickly the disaster unfolded.
LL, further right heading 310, heading 310.
It captures the terrible moment when the crew lost control of their plane.
Going down, 86 is going down.
But what triggered the crisis remains a mystery.
This isn't getting us anywhere. We need to find those flight recorders.
We didn't hear anything which was really directing us at the actual cause. The only thing what was obvious was that the airplane was no longer controllable.
Von Santen pins his hopes on recovering the plane's black boxes. Every 747 carries a flight data recorder and a cockpit voice recorder in the tail. They capture detailed information about everything the pilots say and do during the flight. But finding those recorders won't be easy. City officials have ordered the crash debris to be trucked to dump sites around Amsterdam.
The city wanted to have the crash site cleaned as quickly as possible, because for the people living there who may have lost relatives, it was extremely traumatic to see these buildings and parts of the airplane.
Dig in, guys! We need those black boxes!
Robert Benson is a veteran investigator with the US National Transportation Safety Board. He joins the team and knows just how crucial the voice and data recorders can be.
We use those extensively, along with examination of wreckage, to nail down almost to an nth degree what happened sometimes.
Investigators face a difficult search through a tangled mess of pulverized aircraft parts and building debris.
Hang on! That's an engine part. Goes over there.
You'd be surprised how much building debris pipes and things can actually look like airplane parts, it gets confusing.
While investigators sort through the mountains of debris, witness reports provide a stunning lead.
The earliest information that I think the investigators had, which gave them clues that there was more to this crash than just the pilots losing power on two engines, was that witnesses saw things happening to the airplane and they reported this.
Just minutes before the crash, they saw what looked like two jet engines falling into Lake Hoymyr, east of the airport.
For an engine to fall off the wing of an airplane, it's not unheard of, but it's very, very unusual.
So far, what can you tell me?
Engines 3 and 4 are out.
Losing two engines for us was... We've never heard of that before.
2 engines in this lake. Let's find them, please.
2 engines were missing, and that became the focus of the investigation.
Divers immediately take to the water in search of the fallen debris. What they find could solve this mystery. Meanwhile, across Amsterdam, rumors begin to spread. Speculation about what could have torn 2 engines from a 747.
Well, the fact that the aircraft was an Israeli company, El Al, led to early speculation that there may have been some kind of terrorist involvement.
The history of conflict between Israel and its Arab neighbors suggests a terrifying possibility.
There was early speculation that a missile had struck the aircraft.
Other rumors hint the 747 might have been carrying explosive military cargo for the Israeli army. Cargo not listed on the official manifest.
Oh, El Al must have been sabotage, must have been. Might have been a missile. They were going for absolutely every possible explanation. The people standing in front of the cameras had to have something to say, so they said it.
Within hours, the search of Lake Hoymyr pays off. Investigators recover one of Flight 1862's right side engines. A look at the serial number reveals its engine number 4. The 747's engines are numbered from left to right. Number 4 is the outermost engine on the right wing. Searchers also recover debris from the forward edge of the right wing. Control surfaces that are crucial for controlling the plane.
We've got...
The loss of leading-edge components, flaps and slats, led us to believe that the aircraft was extremely difficult to fly safely.
The mystery now is what caused the engines to fall off. Was it terrorism, a mechanical failure, or something else? Investigators rush the recovered wreckage to a forensic lab and test it for explosive residue.
You have to look at every single part to either rule it in or out.
But there's no evidence of any explosion.
We looked at every single part and ruled out a missile.
One thing is now certain. The El Al disaster has nothing to do with terrorism. But with Engine 3 still missing, the case is far from being solved.
Finding both engines was a virtual necessity. We had other parts of the aircraft, of course, that went into the apartment complex, but they were heavily damaged, so we needed all the parts of the puzzle that we could possibly locate.
Take a look at this.
News of another recent accident adds grave urgency to the search.
I think the whole fleet could be in danger.
Investigators learn of another 747 that lost 2 engines and crashed just 9 months earlier.
It quickly became apparent that a similar accident occurred in Taiwan to a China Airlines 747. Very similar, in fact.
It suddenly seems possible that the 747 may have a deadly design flaw.
That scares everybody because there were 1,000 747s out there at the time.
We were extremely worried and concerned that if this was a pattern, that the next airplane might have been a passenger airplane.
Thousands of lives could be at risk. Investigators must work quickly to find out what brought down Flight 1862. The crash of a 747 near the heart of Amsterdam has shocked people all across that city. The Netherlands' Queen Beatrix tours the devastation, sharing in her nation's grief. At least 43 people are dead.
A lot of people died, but it could have been much worse than that.
Pressure builds to find evidence. With Engine 3 still missing, investigators call in the Dutch Navy to search Lake Hoijmeer using sonar.
It is not very deep there, maybe 4 or 5 meters, but that is deep enough to make it difficult to find.
3 days into the investigation, a major breakthrough. Searchers find a black box in the debris. It's the flight data recorder.
Okay. Let's see what the lab can do with this.
It should contain detailed information about the operation of the engines. But getting at that data may be impossible. The huge impact has taken a heavy toll on the critical recording device.
The FDR survived the accident, but it certainly wasn't intact.
The tape is badly damaged.
The tape had shattered upon impact in a couple places.
But von Santen and his team are determined. They ship the recorder to Washington, where NTSB experts will try to repair the damage. More than a week after the Netherlands' worst air disaster, there's still no sign of the second black box, the cockpit voice recorder.
Any luck?
It looks like investigators will have to solve this mystery without one of their best tools.
You have to remember there was a giant pile of rubble mixed in with an entire 747. It never showed up. My guess is that it probably was burned into a little cinder.
Underwater searchers are having better luck. They've found and recovered engine number 3. Investigators now have both the engines from the right side of the plane. But a close examination of the newly recovered engine only adds to the mystery.
Visual exam shows no sooting, no signs of fire.
We have a fire number 3.
In spite of what the flight crew said over the radio, there were absolutely no evidence of sooting, melted metal, things like that inside the engines.
Shutting down engine 3.
Whatever went wrong, it not only caused the engines to separate from the wing, it also triggered a false fire alarm that misled the crew.
All they had to go on were lights and indications in the cockpit. I don't think they ever knew that they were missing 2 engines.
Investigators hope an unusual streak of paint found on the cowling of engine 3 will help explain what really happened. They take a sample of the paint for testing.
Let's see if the lab can tell us where this came from.
While they wait for lab results, investigators turn their attention to the fittings that attach the engines to the wing. Known as pylons, they're designed to be strong enough to support the massive engines during all the rigors of flight.
If the airplane is in turbulence in the sky and the whole airplane is being shaken, the engines are being shaken as well, so the pylons have to be very, very strong.
V1?
Investigators know Flight 1862 powered away safely from the runway.
Rotate.
They wonder, did the 747 hit something in the air that somehow damaged the two right side engines?